Ignatius had a great desire to spend his life in Jerusalem and to save souls. But that was not the will of God for him. God had planned something big for him. So, in these times, Ignatius went through a lot of reflective phases. He is trying to find out what is God trying to tell him by not allowing him to stay in Jerusalem. He states in his autobiography, after the pilgrim realized that it was God's will that he does not stay in Jerusalem, he continually pondered within himself what he ought to do, and eventually, he was rather inclined to study for some time so he would be able to help souls, and he decided to go to Barcelona. So, it was the will of God that he commence his studies so that he would be able to help souls in a better way. Thus, Ignatius sets foot in Barcelona where he studies for 2 years and then moves on to Alcalá. At Alcalá, he falls under suspicion of heresy along with a few companions. Things were not favorable for him in Alcalá, and from there he is forced to move to Salamanca, and finally in February 1528 he lands in Paris for his studies. During his time of studies in Barcelona, Alcalá and Salamanca, Ignatius faces a lot of inner struggles, namely, when he was studying grammar in Barcelona, he gets new spiritual insights which he feels are the temptations, not to study. Even in Alcalá, he gets into trouble with the Inquisition because he goes about doing his spiritual works rather than focusing on his studies. From all these experiences, Ignatius learns that one ought to set one's priorities first. In our lives too, when we are given responsibilities and tasks to do, but very often instead of accomplishing those responsibilities, we spend time on things which are not important at that particular moment. Especially, when we are sent for studies, we tend to involve ourselves in other works rather than what needs to be done. Hence, in a way we are not doing the will of God.
Let us ask ourselves, do we give importance to our priorities first, or are we caught up with things that are not important at the moment?